Adventure vehicles exist because somebody back in the day wanted a bigger, tougher wagon for their trip out west. Fast forward to the present, not only do you have several production models to choose from, you have many companies that have made their name creating custom modified one-of-a-kind projects. I'm Reacher, and in this video we're bringing you 10 adventure and off-road vehicles taming the wild frontier.
Number 10.
If you ever get in the mood to dismantle your vehicle piece by piece so you can rebuild it to your own liking, I highly recommend you don't. Seriously, just don't. Leave those kinds of things to the experts. And by experts, I mean people like the crew at Starwood Motors in Dallas, Texas. This fine example of their work is a 2013 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited they've renamed Full Metal Jacket. It starts with the body of each unit separated from the frame and being completely disassembled. All the paint is then sanded away and replaced with a Kevlar-based coating that is not only rust-proof but also virtually indestructible. The transformation from average to intimidating is aided by upgrades to the suspension and undercarriage that include Curry Rock Jock 60 axles, Rubicon Express control arm kits, Synergy suspension shocks, and 40-inch Nitto Mud Grappler tires. Under the hood is the stock engine, a 3.6-liter V6 putting out 285 horsepower to a 5-speed transmission. Externally, they chose Smittybilt for the bumpers and fenders, as well as an XRC body armor kit, while a 1,000-pound winch and 2 LED light bars round out the mix. Throw on some safari-style half doors, jump into the custom-designed leather seats, and you're ready to take on just about everything out there.
Number 9.
It stands to reason that any company making armored vehicles should make a model for civilians. That reason? Just because. And you never know when you might be making a trip through Detroit. Canadian-based Terradyne Armored Vehicles recently released its civilian version of their Gurkha RPV, touting it as the safest pickup for use by civilians. Considering it was originally intended for use by law enforcement and security forces, I'm sure they can back up that claim. It runs about the same size as the other models, measuring over 20 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 8 feet high. The powertrain consists of a 6.7-liter V8 turbo diesel capable of producing 330 horsepower along with a 6-speed automatic transmission. The all-black exterior is nothing short of rugged, composed of steel and built on the same chassis used for the Ford F-550. Inside is more of what qualifies this one as a luxury vehicle, having hand-stitched leather seats, carbon fiber trim, and wood accents. Armoring, as well as many other safety features, can be added at the buyer's request.
Number 8.
At first glance, the Rezvani Tank instantly gives off an aura of rugged aggressiveness. The lines and edges, although sharp in places, blend to form a shape indicative of a futuristic vehicle while maintaining a look that promotes luxury. Sitting on the chassis of a Jeep Wrangler, this 4,300-pound extreme utility vehicle takes up a space measuring almost 16 feet long, 7 feet wide, and 6.5 feet high. Providing power to it all is a 3.6-liter, 285 horsepower V6 coupled with a 6-speed transmission. The standard 4-inch lift kit, Fox shocks, and 37-inch mud gripper tires make sure that when the on-demand 4x4 drive system is activated, it can propel tank over just about any terrain. There are upgrades available for just about everything, including an odd array of safety features like EMP protection and a thermal night vision system. Why you'd need that is anyone's guess, but then again, there was that scene in Ocean's 11.
Number 7.
If you find yourself overwhelmed with the urge to steer your car into every body of water you drive by, then this is absolutely the vehicle for you. Hailing from the land of the Dutch, the Amphicruiser Adventure is one of 3 current models offered by the company. It's built on a Land Cruiser HZJ79 chassis with a steel and aluminum exterior that has been coated for added resistance to seawater. As implied previously, this one can be used on water as well as on land. Regardless of which, the power is supplied by a choice of a 6 or 8 cylinder engine running on either gasoline or diesel with the option to go full electric. On land, it drives like the average SUV, reaching a top speed of 87 miles per hour, while on the water it sails like a boat at 5.6 miles per hour. The transition from land to water and vice versa is as simple as pushing a button to switch from the water propulsion system to the engine. An advanced sealing system around the doors ensures everyone stays dry, so feel free to explore those areas normally out of reach.
Number 6.
What started as your everyday Jeep Wrangler Rubicon was customized into this 6-wheeled behemoth nicknamed Inferno. First exhibited at SEMA 2018, this creation from the minds at California's Exotic Custom Motorsports is everything you'd want in a vehicle, assuming everything means bigger, better, and tougher. Modifications to this one included chopping the chassis and extending it to 19 feet long, making room for the third axle. The engine is a Hemi Hellcat pulled from a Dodge Challenger, putting out 750 horsepower. Throw in a 5-inch lift kit, off-road shocks, and 35-inch tires, and you've got an off-road beast that's not likely to get stuck in too many places.
Number 5.
Russian-based Aton Impulse has put together what it calls the Viking 29031, another off-roader made for both land and water. The 17-foot-long behemoth has an almost cartoonish look to it due to the oversized balloon tires, but rest assured there's nothing childish about this one. Sitting almost 8 feet high with the ability to increase the ground clearance up to 2 feet means this one can reach even the remotest of places. It has a curb weight of just over 4,600 pounds, an ideal number when you consider traveling across rivers and lakes using the optional water jet. Power comes from a 2-liter diesel engine producing around 140 horsepower to the 6-speed transmission. This makes for a top speed around 50 miles per hour on land and 8 miles per hour on water. There's room for up to 7 people, including the driver, who sits centered in the vehicle instead of the left or right side. All this, and it can still pull 621 miles on a full tank of fuel.
Number 4.
California-based U.S. Specialty Vehicles are makers of high-end luxury SUVs. The Rhino GX is their top-of-the-line model and looks like something you're more likely to see on the battlefield instead of the city streets. Based around a Ford F450 Super Duty pickup chassis, the body is made from dual-layer rolled steel with a roll cage structure. Buyers have the choice of either a 6.7-liter V8 turbo diesel or a 6.8-liter V10 gas engine, both paired with a 5-speed automatic transmission. Inside is room to seat 4 people, with almost everything covered in hand-sewn leather. The whole thing measures just under 18 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 7.5 feet tall with a dry weight of 10,000 pounds. And that's just the standard model with no upgrades.
Number 3.
Even if you're not an automobile person, the name Carroll Shelby should still ring a bell. His name is world-renowned with racing and automotive design, so it stands to reason that anything with his moniker attached to it is going to be top of the line and almost certainly limited in quantity. The 2018 Shelby Ford F-150 is no exception to this, having just 500 models available worldwide. Devolro is a Miami-based company in the business of vehicle customization. So when they decided to take on the Shelby F-150 as a project, it became another example of the dedication and skill set that goes into creating these one-of-a-kind masterpieces. They started with a complete teardown of the interior and other major components, which allowed them to coat the entire truck in Line X bed liner. After this, they threw on a custom grille, bumpers, fender flares, and rims with 35-inch tires. The customized interior includes handmade carbon fiber inserts as well as handcrafted Alcantara, leather, and suede, taking around 250 hours just for this part of the project.
Number 2.
Conquest Vehicle is a Canadian company specializing in the design and manufacture of armored luxury SUVs. So much so that they've limited the production of their flagship vehicle, the Knight XV, to just 100 units. Built on a Ford F-550 Super Duty chassis, the body is composed of ballistic hardened steel as well as having ballistic fiberglass bumpers and fenders. Tinted armor glass up to 2.5 inches thick is used throughout for the windows and moonroof panels. The cabin offers seating for up to 6 people, having handcrafted leather and ultra-suede seats, carbon fiber dash inserts, and touchscreen consoles in the front and rear. Each hand-built vehicle takes about 4,000 hours to complete, measuring in at 19.5 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 8.5 feet high, with a curb weight around 13,000 pounds. The MDX Defender 110 from Metzger KFZ is another example of a vehicle that easily reaches the standard of quality that the phrase German engineering refers to. Along with the small kitchen and back, an added sleeping area can be found in the pop-top roof. Using a Land Rover Defender 110 as its base, the final product ends up 16 feet long, 6 feet wide, and 7.5 feet tall, while weighing in at a mere 132 pounds heavier than the stock Defender for a total of 4,800 pounds.
Number 1.
This final entry looks like it was designed by the same people who came up with the look for the Stealth Fighter. This is a stark contrast to the interior, where you'll find luxuriousness on a level unheard of in today's vehicles. Throw in the price tag, which makes this the most expensive SUV in the world, and the name becomes even more fitting. Although every Karlmann King is unique as it is built from the ground up to each buyer's standards, it does start with a Ford F-550 chassis and a 6.8-liter V10 engine producing up to 398 horsepower. You might need a bigger garage to park it in, as it runs about 20 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 8 feet high. The all-black exterior, which seems to be the norm among these types of vehicles, comes with the option of armor plating, creating an increase in the curb weight from 9,900 to 13,000 pounds. The downside to that is even without the added weight, it tops out at 87 miles per hour, so there won't be any fast and furious moments out on the highway. The previously mentioned luxury interior has seating for a total of 4 people and offers features such as large screen TVs, touchscreen controls, retractable tables, and specialty upholstery. Each one is currently made in Italy with an estimated delivery time of 9 to 15 months. Okay folks, now that you've seen the video, would you consider buying any of these vehicles? If so, how far off-road could you see yourself going considering the cost? Personally, I think that if you're not out in the mud, then why even drive it? But that's just me. Feel free to throw in your 2 cents in the comments below. I'm Reacher, and we'll see you on the next one.